Hi guys, and welcome back to Adventures in the Schoolhouse. We're getting ready for 4th of July, and I am channeling my inner Betsy Ross. So today we have a super fun lesson all about Betsy Ross, an American hero, and a little bit about her life. We have a fun cross-curricular lesson plan that encompasses history and language arts and writing, and we are going to be making American flags of our own. All right guys, so today's lesson is all about Betsy Ross, and I have this beautiful lesson plan that I created for you. Meet Betsy Ross. You get to learn about her life as an American hero and her role. We made a fun coloring sheet for you so your kids can download this and color the 13 stars and 13 stripes. And as I said, it's a cross-curricular lesson, so we've got American history in here, writing and language arts, reading comprehension, and character traits, and all kinds of fun. So download this on our website, and I hope you enjoy it. And today we are going to make our Betsy Ross inspired craft. So we are going to make our own American flag with our 13 stripes and our 13 stars, representing those 13 colonies, just out of simple construction paper and yarn. So our supplies for today are white cardstock, yarn, a safe needle, which is a plastic needle, large plastic needle for little hands, scissors, and a hole punch. If you don't have cardstock at home, then you can use just lightweight cardboard, like a cereal box. So if you have a cereal box, you can go ahead and just cut it out in the shape of a rectangle and use that as a flag. Any lightweight cardboard will do. You might want to help your kids by just drawing with a ruler and pencil and help them kind of create a map, if you will, like little cartographers. So we're just going to create an outline of where we want all of our stars and stripes to go, just like real seamstresses do. All right, let's get started. So we first need to create this blue quadrant right here, right? So we're gonna go about 5 inches across. So we're gonna make that little landmark right there. And about 4 inches down this way. And then we're gonna draw out our little pattern. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a guide. Your yarn is gonna go over it. So it'll look like this, right? This will be the blue quadrant, and then we're going to draw our 13 stripes. And we start with red and we alternate. So red, white, red, white, red, white, ending in red. And this will be blue, and we'll have the 13 stars right here, again representing the 13 colonies. So these, it's a little math lesson here. If you measure the paper and it's 8.5, then you're going to have to divide that number by 13 so that you can fit all of your stars. So we know that this is 1 inch, so I'm gonna do about a half here. So I'm gonna start making roughly 1/2 inch lines. Measure that again. Betsy Ross was a pretty amazing woman. She had 7 girls, 7 daughters. And as a master seamstress, she made rugs and curtains and all kinds of things. And she carried on her family business after her husband passed away, which most women did not do back in the 1700s. That was unheard of. And she taught all of her children to sew so that they could help her run the family business. So she went on to sewing on buttons for George Washington's jacket, as well as ruffles on his jacket, and hand crocheting muskets, if you can believe it, for the war. And then George Washington asked her to make the official first American flag. All right, guys, we've made our little pattern with our pencil and our ruler, and there's a little math in here for your kids, right? Making landmarks, and we drew 4 inches down, 5 inches across. We have 13 lines, 7 of which are going to be with red yarn, and 6 of which are going to be white. So you can either use white yarn like this, or you can do, to save time, you can do what we did and just let the white cardstock be the background, and then that serves as the line. It's the in-between section of the flag. So that's an option too. less supplies to buy, right? All right, so we've got our lines. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do is we are gonna use our hole punch. Again, awesome fine motor for these kids, which is a precursor for great writers. All right, so we punched some of our holes. We threaded our needle. We tied a knot. And this is, again, so fun for not only fine motor practice, but learning to sew and learning to tie, lace shoes, tie shoes, all of that fun stuff. So we're gonna just thread it through. Let's make sure it's even. I'm gonna go to the other side and pull that through. Okay, and we're gonna double it so it's nice and thick. We wanna create actual stripes. Like so. And you always wanna end on the, obviously, on the back side, right? You always wanna end, if you're gonna cut your yarn and tie it in a knot, you wanna make sure that you're on the right side. You don't want any knots on the front. All right, so here we've got our pattern. We keep going. And in the back, I want to show you, in the back, you don't have to tie off your knots after every line. You can just skip a hole and then go down to the next one since we've got our pattern in play, right? So that's what I did. Instead of cutting it and knotting it after each one, you just skip a hole. So this one we actually did the yarn the entire way. And the other sample I showed you, we just left the cardstock as the background for the white. Now we are going to start with our blue. And we are going to start right here. There we go. We're going to go in the same hole that we went in with our red. Just finished all the blue stitching with the yarn and we've got our flag. Now we're just gonna cut 13 stars out of white paper. I happen to have this ribbon, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these stars from my ribbon right now, but you can certainly just use cardstock or white paper, and then we're just gonna go ahead and glue them on. So 13 little white stars. We've got our trusty glue gun. And we are just gonna create a circle, dot, dot, not a lot. And here is our final product, Betsy Ross inspired flag for 4th of July. You can visit us at www.adventuresintheschoolhouse.com and download our mini lesson and enjoy that at home with your kids. Come join our adventure.